Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Signature Cocktail with Kyle Hammond. I am indeed Kyle Hammond, and tonight our signature guest is none other than William Welch. Will, hi.
Hi, Kyle. Long time no see, brother. So glad you invited me here. I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. This is my cousin-in-law. No, wait a minute. Step-cousin-in-law.
Correct.
Step-cousin-in-law, Matt. And I don't twist your mind around Arkansas trying to figure out what that means. Let's just say that he's my dude.
Yeah, it's of Arkansas. You're not in Arkansas. You're in Texas, but we know each other from Arkansas. You're the old, like in rankings, you are the person that I've known the longest, number 4 on Signature Cocktail. So because I've had somebody, like I had my brother who you know, and I've known him the longest, obviously. And then I've had a couple high school people, and then you I met in college in Arkansas, though, right?
So what he's saying is I can eventually get up the list to number 2 if I off 2 guys, but I like his brother, so. That's as high as I can.
Well, if his brother turns out to be a vegetable someday, does that give you a chance to vault into first?
Well, possibly. His brother is a bit of a vegetable, but he's a good vegetable. It's like a good tasting vegetable. Like one of those things that's not a vegetable, but you think it is, like a potato.
It's better than fruit, like a tomato.
No, very good.
There you go. And Matt, how do we know you? How the step is there's obviously a story there. The step and the
we don't have that much time for this episode. Let's just hold it off to the next one.
Matt is married to my wife's cousin. It's a step cousin, but you wouldn't know it because they act like blood sisters.
Gotcha. And fair enough. Back to you're in Texas now. You are in College Station, coming to us from College Station adjacent.
Yeah, we're just outside the city limits of College Station, still deep in the heart of Aggie land. Where I did meet you, Kyle, was, of course, in Arkansas. We went to college together, but this is where I'm from, my hometown, as they say, and where after several years, I call it my 9 years of exile in Arkansas, I managed to get back to Texas and then moved back to College Station in 2001.
Perfect. And I was doing it's this, right? Is the gig some sort of?
No, this is Gig'em. This is a horse laugh. Rifty, riff raff, rifty, tiff taff, riff raff, tiff taff. Let's give him a horse laugh. That's what we say instead of boo when we're cussing the zebras on the field.
Gotcha. All right. So just so we're all clear. Boomer sooner, hook 'em horse. At
least it was the right way.
Yeah.
Long and short is we are here today to make a drink that is called the what is it?
The Oaxaca Old Fashioned, I believe, is the pronunciation. Some people might say it.
Bless you.
Thank you. I call it a Mexican Old Fashioned simply because my Texican is very poor. I can say "Donde está el baño?" But that's and "Uno más cerveza." That's about as far as I get.
You should learn some Spanish while you're down there.
Texican, Kyle, is Texican.
You call it what you
enough to get by in the bar.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice. So we're going to make that drink, which is you mentioned mezcal, tequila, maple. I have maple syrup. I don't know why I have that. That's not supposed to.
Dude, I can see where that might. No, I can't see where that would work.
This is what I meant to have out, which is my version of the agave nectar. It's called.
Now, did you boil that down yourself, or
it's faux agave is what we call
it. So are you an anti-vegan? So you can't use plant-based products?
No, I didn't want to buy a $9 bottle of agave nectar, so I had some light brown sugar and some water, and I put them together, which is on Google, that is the quick faux DIY substitute for agave nectar. That's what I got.
Hey, look, all these little things that are little intricacies and details that change these drinks can make them really good or can make them absolute crap. So we'll figure out which way it's going.
Let's do it. So I think I've got all the stuff. How do we do this? What do we start with?
This is the way. There's a lot of recipes online, this sort of thing. I've modified the recipe that I've sent you a little bit. I like to muddle because I'm a real old-fashioned kind of guy, right? I like to muddle my orange, so I'll take a little bit of the orange here, and I'll throw that in there.
Oh, you're taking like an orange slice and muddle it.
I'm taking a little bit of an orange slice, and I'll give you an opportunity to cut that up. And there's just the reason I like that is because I like the bright freshness of the orange. However, I don't necessarily like the smoky when you light it a little bit and activate those oils. To me, the mezcal is smoky enough. And this recipe doesn't necessarily call for a cherry, but I love cherries. So I'm going to throw one cherry in there with a little orange, and I'm going to muddle that.
Got it.
Just to get all of those juices flowing and activated, right?
And are you putting it just into the glass that you're drinking
the glass itself, I am.
Oh, okay. And that's with the peel and everything of that orange.
With the peel and everything. There's lots of aromatics in that peel, and that's what you're activating when you light it. It also activates if you crush it. So if you crush it up just a little bit, you're going to get some of that. Just muddle that down pretty good. As you can see, that looks like, vomit in there. And then I'm going to put my agave syrup in there, and we're looking for 1 bar spoonful of agave syrup. So just a little, 1 bar spoonful of agave.
Juicy.
All right.
And like I said, I'm using the Fogave.
Fogave.
My wife coined that term as I was trying to put it together. I was like, well, it's fake agave nectar. She was like, you mean Fogave? And I was like,
my wife has some David Foman jewelry, as she calls it. And she does have a Louis Vuitton. Yeah, just some Folkleys. Yeah. If you want to be a diesel bro and wear your Folkleys, that works great.
Or go back to the 90s.
Exactly.
And also you could, wear those fake plastic shoes and call them Fox.
Yeah, you could. I can't imagine something cheaper than a Croc, but
I mean,
what a Croc.
Really
what a Croc.
Trying to take it to the next level.
So what stage are you at there, Kyle? You getting your
I am now putting in the bar spoon of the Fogave.
Well, that's the Italian version. Fogave.
Fogave. There you go. Boom.
And we're married into a Sicilian family. So. All right, so you got your cherry in there. I don't know if you're using cherry, but just the orange will work. And then I'm going to get my tequila. I
have a maraschino cherry.
Yeah, hey, the ones I threw in there. I just love cherry, right?
I also love cherry in my old fashioned, so I just put one. Dude.
So get that crushed up in there, Kyle.
Yep.
There you go.
Muddled. Done.
Right.
Now what?
So then our liquor is essentially 3 parts tequila to 1 part mezcal. And I've gone back and forth on this and gone half and half, this, that, and the other. If you like it a little more smoky, go with a little more mezcal. If you like it a little less smoky, go with the other ratio there. I'm going to go ahead and stick to it right now and do 2 parts, 3 parts tequila, 1 part mezcal.
3 to 1.
3 to 1. I think that's the ratio I worked at. But Kyle, as you may remember from college, I failed remedial counting.
Yeah, it's all good. We're gonna figure it out.
Essentially, I'm going to do 1 big shot of the tequila, and I'm using El Tesoro, and it is a reposado tequila because you do want that little bit of age and oak to it.
Yeah, I have got the Mi Campo.
That means my camp, I think.
I mean, it sounds good to me.
I thought that was a city in Texas.
That's El Campo.
Oh, close enough.
That's the camp.
The camp. This one is.
I'm just guessing, man. Campo could mean anything.
So I've got. Or is that your reposado or mezcal?
That's the reposado. The reposado, yeah.
I've got Hilton de la Muerta because it's what I have.
And that's I know the last part of that is of the dead.
Yeah, that much I do know.
This could be a big Halloween drink. So that
good idea. Yeah.
The Muerte there, that's your mezcal or your tequila?
The Muerte is the mezcal,
Okay, so you've already got the tequila in the glass. I'm just trying to keep up with you here.
No, I'm trying to keep up with you. I haven't done any of that yet. I'm just showing off bottles.
Oh
Now
man,
actually pour the bottle. All right, I'm gonna go
let me know when you cut up.
2 ounces of tequila, and then like what, 2/3 or
An ounce. Go with it. If you're going 2, I'd say go an ounce.
there you go.
I'm gonna go an ounce with mezcal.
There we go.
All right.
Two to one. That's the ratio I'm going with to make my math easier.
So I'll give that a good stir, get that mixed around real good.
Okay.
Then, and I've done this in a shaker, Kyle. I've done it, stirring in this particular recipe, and I like big ice cubes, and I cannot lie. So I'm going to drop 1 big cube in there.
Okay.
Give it a little more stir to walk it around a little bit.
Got a big old ice cube.
I can tell you. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reach right over here, and I'm going to grab this little orange slice right here, because brother likes a garnish.
Oh, I love a garnish. Now, what were you saying? Did we skip the part where you were telling me about the history of one of those?
That's the sodal. So as after we've tasted this cocktail,
you're going to make another
back and revisit, make a quick one with this. And what I'm talking about here is sodal. And a couple of years ago, I discovered this. This is a product from Desert Door Sodal in Driftwood, Texas, which is outside of Austin. And number one, it is a beautiful bottle. Gorgeous. Yeah. Number two, the sodal cactus is very close related to the agave cactus, which of course is where you get tequila and mezcal.
Right.
Tequila comes only from the blue agave cactus. Mezcal comes from a standard agave. The sodal is just a little bit different, but this was supposedly the first distilled alcohol ever in what is now the state of Texas, and it was done by the natives that were here at that point in time. And it tastes a lot like tequila, but it's got a little grassier sort of flavor to it. So while you're finishing up there, I'm going to knock out another one real quick using the sodal instead of the tequila, and then Matt and I are going to try them, and we're going to see how that goes.
Gotcha. All right. Well, while you're doing that second set, I'm going to do, because what the recipe that I Googled or that I was looking at had a flamed orange.
Flamed orange. Yeah, we can do that if you want.
Which I've never really, I haven't really gone that route a lot of times. I'm going to cut this because it's dripping. I'm just going to do it over so I get those juices in my drink.
You like the juice in the drink?
For sure.
It's better when it's juicy.
So there's a little bit of an orange.
We were talking about juicy tacos earlier.
Correct.
But what I'm going to do is, as I said, when you said we could do this, I was like, oh, well, if it gives me a reason to use my my blowtorch, let's make that drink. So this is not necessary for those of you at home. This is not normally how you would flame an orange. Most people just use a little match. But
you need a beard net and safety goggles, brother.
I got my glasses on. My glasses are on, so I'm good.
All right. I hope there's not too much product in the beard right now.
See, there you go. That's how that works. I'm going to do this.
Right, let's see if he burns his place down.
Yeah, let's not burn the place. I've got a fire extinguisher right there, so it's all good. It's all good. I'm going to do a little bit of this.
You say you've never done this before, right?
That's correct.
The key is actually, I don't know if you can twist that rind while you're doing it, little sparks will actually shoot off of it. It's the oils coming out of the rind.
Right. That's what I was trying to figure out how to get that happening.
Maybe one of the reasons that
there was a little bit happened.
Kyle, he has a small spark in his life. All right. While he's flaming, I'm going to open the sodal.
Yeah. Oh, well.
The sodal is open. You want to get a smell of that and see what you.
That's very mild comparatively speaking.
Comparatively speaking, now this is the 100 proof. Stand by. I thought they've got an 80 proof product that I was going to grab as well, but knowing me, I only grabbed the high octane.
The good stuff.
Yeah, so we're going to replace the tequila with this and see how it goes. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to replace the mezcal with this and not the tequila because I still want that reposado flavor, right? So in this case, I'm going to go. It's tight. There we go.
That's what she said.
I'm going to go here. Get a full Carnival Cruise shot glass of that one.
I'm waiting on you, but I just want to let you know that, that smells good.
Yeah, and then a half of that one.
Ooh.
All
is
right.
It green or is that just your cup? Okay, your cup is green. I thought you were pouring some green.
No, we're not doing chartreuse today. Sorry.
No chartreuse.
No chartreuse.
This one will stir. All right, so are we ready to try this, Matt? I'm going to give you the regular, and I'm going to take the sodal, and then we'll swap. That cold sore cleared up?
Long gone.
Well, you got the mustache now, so it's hard to tell.
I'm going to put my orange on.
Join us, or
Kyle is now, he's joining us. Kyle, yours is pretty. Ours is pretty?
It's beautiful.
I've got the sodal one. Matt has the mezcal.
Cheers to you. You're going to try your two, and I'm going to try mine, and we're going to.
Oh, dude, I like the sodal in that.
That's not bad. Let me try the sodal here.
The sodal is subtle.
Ooh, that's good.
It's surprisingly good. I mean, let's face it. In college, my roommate, the late JD that you knew quite well, JD loved. He and I would get what was called Dos Gusanos mezcal. Just because it was rot gut, we looked tough drinking it, and it had two worms, so we didn't have to fight over them.
Yep. So
always a bonus.
I think I like the mezcal version a little bit better.
So what I was going to say, speaking of mezcal,
the sodal definitely kind of remind me of had a more on the back end than the mezcal did. It was, I hate to say, bring up chartreuse again, but it had that kind of that grassy
is what the note is in sodal that I think distinguishes it from everything else. And the mezcal, I can tell you, is a lot smokier than the sodal.
Which is what I was going to say. So for me, that it's delicious. It's a little too smoky. So I'm going to go back to the ratio that it's supposed to be and put another ounce of reposado in there to see, because right now the mezcal is a little too much.
A little overpowering. You see, I drink
the
these
mezcal drink instead of a tequila drink.
Yeah, so I drink these out of red Solo cups when the weather starts to turn to fall. And a couple of them will take you down.
And you're probably,
if you're not paying attention,
where we use another red Solo cup as an insulation factor.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
In our distinguished age.
All right, cheers, brother. Cheers.
Yeah, that took it down a little bit. Now I get more of the reposado in there. That's good. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, cheers.
I'm a connoisseur of a regular old fashioned, but this is a different sort of animal. And it really shocks people because they don't expect to get complex flavors out of tequila. Most people, tequila was, Jose Cuervo that they drank in college.
Yep.
And they puked their toenails up out of it, and that was they'd never touch it again. My wife being one of them. But tequilas and especially mezcals now have gone the way that bourbon went a few decades ago into a very craft scene. You can get single village mezcals. You can get mezcals that are the fire that is feeding the distilling process. They're roasting chickens over it. The drippings. I mean. Crazy stuff.
Yeah. And so my take on it, that I haven't had this one, but my take on the tequila old fashioned is reposado with Amaro. I don't know if you have an Amaro Averna. It's a very earthy liqueur. It's an Italian liqueur as well. It's also very good, but it's that same idea of let's give it a little flavor.
little craft.
Yeah, I like it. Well, we'll have to do that on another episode.
And the liqueurs you were talking about are going to do close to the same thing. They're going to add a little bit more of that earthiness into it and give you a little bit more aftertaste that you can savor a little longer.
Yeah, so this is a cocktail that is best if you're somebody who's started to really develop their palate when it comes to bourbons or wines or something else, and you can distinguish those flavors that you're getting. This is the next level up, because then you can play with this stuff and get a smokier mezcal or not, or a sweeter tequila. And you can play with those ingredients and really figure out what you want. It's kind of like make my chili. I make my chili with making my chili powder and my chili paste from scratch, because then I get all these grassroots ingredients and I can really control the flavors in them, because after years of experience, you figure it out.
Yeah, you can hone it in and like, I want a little bit more of this, a little bit less of that. Like, I'm gonna find,
which might require a little drinking, but you know what? We're okay with that.
Yeah, so I think that's well, the other thing that's not to be overlooked is that you now have a way to have a conversation with somebody and bring them along, develop their taste for this, and have you a new drinking buddy.
Yeah, we tried it on our wives, and no, it didn't work.
Well, that's why we're here, and they're not.
Exactly. Well, they had jobs.
So my last question, and then we're going to say cheers, is the Sodal. Is that abundantly available, or is that more like you're saying craft?
It is, and I would highly. It was a couple of years ago when I discovered it, and I was really impressed with their website, and I like the product. So I'll go ahead and plug them. This is Desert Door Sodal. And if you use the old Google machine, you can find their website, and it gives a really good history of Sodal on the website, and shows the guys going out in their late 60s Chevy truck to harvest the cactus and that sort of thing. And it looks a lot like the agave cactus, but it's really a different sort of drink. It's a historic drink. I love introducing people to that, especially here in Texas, because as you may or may not know, sometimes we can be a little prideful about our state. And it's only because it is the biggest state and the best state.
I would have never known that had you not just said that.
I'm here to educate.
So awesome. I will look more into the Sodal, and then I will say cheers to all of the people at home. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy your weekend, and cheers, everybody.
Brother, good to see you. Cheers.
Pleasure.
Oh, that's good stuff. Awesome. That's how we do that.
Right. That was too easy.